Alright, so I'm gonna model the first paragraph for you all. Alright, and once again, remember, we're looking for two things and two things only. Important vocabulary words or anything that helps us answer the AKS. Okay? So it reads, the colony of Georgia was established by the English for a variety of reasons. Georgia was founded by 21 trustees, so I have a definition right there, I have a vocabulary right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna highlight that. Alright, it says who were responsible for governing the colony. So remember, we're always looking for the answer to our vocabulary word, either right before or right after the vocabulary word itself. So now I know that trustees are people who are responsible for governing the colony. Okay? It said this time period of Georgia is called the trustee period. So we have another definition. I'll highlight it. Trustee period. All right, now look at my reading. The trustee period was the time period in Georgia in which the trustees are responsible for governing the colony. So, a little tricky there. The second vocabulary word definition is part of the first vocabulary word definition, but we figured it out. All right, so next it says the Charter of 1732. Instantly, once again, it's in bold. Highlight that. What is the Charter of 1732? Let's see if we can find out. It says it's a document that was written to formally establish the colony, outline reasons for creation of the colony. All right, so it's a document that was written to formally establish the colony. All right, and it outlined the reasons for the creation of the colony. So once again, looking at my AKS, we're looking for the reasons, okay? And we're trying to figure out the importance of the Charter of 1732, and I think we just did. All right? So the document wrote that the colony should be founded on three reasons. Okay, philanthropy, economics, and defense. Of the three, it was only successful with accomplishing one. All right, so I have a question mark right here. So it kind of a cliffhanger. It told me that only one of the three were successful, and it tell me which one. So now I have another question I'm looking for. So as I'm going through my reading, trying to figure out the AKS, I'm also trying to figure out which one was successful. I'm intrigued now. Okay? All right, let's go ahead with the second one. All right, it said the first reason for the establishment of Georgia was philanthropy. Once again, we have a highlighted word. All right. James Oglethorpe, another highlighted word. Okay. A trustee who helped found Georgia wanted to create a colony in which the worthy poor and debtors could farm and start businesses and thus could have a fresh start. So this seemed like it's important. All right. So he was the trustee of Georgia. All right, and he wanted to create a colony for the worthy poor and debtors. All right, allow them to farm and start businesses, and thus have a fresh start. Okay. Now I said this never happened, so I already know I can kind of put not successful right here. I remember, I already know only one was successful. It's already telling me this is not what was successful. All right. It said, however, the incentives that would have benefited the people that Oglethorpe wanted to settle in Georgia pulled people to the new colony. So that's interesting. All right. So people still came for that reason, but it never really worked out. Now, that sounds interesting, but let's look at our AKS again. All right. Our AKS only asks the reasons. Okay, it doesn't ask about what happened to those people who came for that reason and it wasn't successful. It just specifically asks for the reason. So while that seems interesting, it's not important to be knowing or mastering the AKS. So I'm going to take it out. All right, so these incentives included 50 acres of land or 500 if they paid their own passage, 1 year supply of food, free seed and agricultural products, It said many came to the new colony for a fresh start and to try their luck. All right, so this like it might be important, just knowing that people came for a fresh start. All right, but we already know that didn't happen. Okay, it's not important. Okay. Now, this word was a little different. So for this vocabulary word, it didn't necessarily tell me what the answer was. I had to kind of figure it out. Okay. So we're talking about philanthropy. We're talking about James Oglethorpe was the philanthropist. All right, and what he was looking for was a colony to help people have a fresh start. All right, and it wasn't like he was really trying to benefit from it. Only the people who were going to be there were going to benefit from it. Okay, so for my mind, I'm thinking philanthropy probably means something along the lines of maybe helping others. All right, selflessly. And what selfless means is literally helping others and not expecting anything in return. So that's what I'm thinking philanthropy means. Because like I said before, as I was reading through it, no one really, he wasn't going to benefit from it as much as the people who he was allowing to come over and kind of make that first start. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the next one together. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to read it, and you're going to stop me when you deem something important. Okay? Second reason for the establishment of Georgia was economics. Correct. All right, so for some reason it's not underlined, but we know from our AKS it's important, so I'm going to highlight that anyway. Okay? It says with mercantilism. That word is not familiar. If we go back to our last AKS, what was the reason why the English came to the Americans in the first place? Okay, correct, for money. And how are they going to make money? How is their way of making money different from the Spanish? Correct, the Spanish came for gold, God, and glory. All right, the English came for mercantilism. So I'm going to go ahead and underline that. Oh. All right, we have vocabulary from old AKS popping back up. All right, so with mercantilism in their mind, the trustees hoped that the colonists would be able to produce 4 agricultural crops that could not be grown in England. That seems like that might be important. All right. Produce 4 agricultural products that cannot be grown in England. Because remember, as we talked about before, you know, the whole point of mercantilism was to grow crops here that could be grown over there. You give them to England, all right, and then they will make something with it, and they will keep a large portion, and they'll sell you back the rest. Okay? Once again, remember we said it wasn't fair, but it was the way things went. All right, so let's keep reading. These products were the risk crops. Correct? We're going to stop there. I'm going to highlight risk crops so we can figure out what a risk crop is. So it says wine, rice, indigo, silk, tobacco. Bam, I already figured it out. Wine, rice, indigo, silk, and tobacco. Okay? Silk was so desired that all colonies were required to set aside land to grow mulberry trees, which was the food of choice for silkworms. Stop, correct, you're right. Alright, so it must be very important. Alright, all colonies were required to set aside land to grow mulberry trees. Alright? And I might just make sure that we remember this. I'm not saying it would be on the test, but you never know. Make sure that we know that these two are connected. Okay? The reason for the mulberry tree is for the silkworms themselves. Alright. It says tobacco was grown, but it did not gain importance until later on in the colony's history. Alright, you said stop, okay? So tobacco was grown. Alright, it says it didn't gain importance until later. Alright. The trustees wanted most colonists to be yeoman farmers. These farmers would own their own land and work the land with no slaves. All right, someone says stop. All right, correct. So even though it's not in bold, it seems like it's a vocabulary word because right after the word itself, it gave us a definition. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and highlight yeoman farmers. So they might be important. All right, what are yeoman farmers? They're farmers who own their own land and work the land with no slaves. So that no slave part seems very interesting because we all know that all of these colonies at some point had slaves. Georgia did as well, but we're realizing now that Georgia initially did not have any slaves at all. Interesting. Okay. It says no agricultural product reached the level of success that the trustees wanted. All right, so it's interesting. So remember, as we were talking about earlier, only one of the three reasons were successful. We already said the first one was not successful. Okay. We were talking about philanthropy. Now we're realizing that the economics wasn't really successful. All right, which leaves us with only our third option, which is our final option, which is defense. All right, so I feel confident in you guys that you all can now kind of take the way and go over the next couple of paragraphs. So all I want you to do is with your group, you're going to go through them. And you have two ways you can do it. You can either A, read it independently, annotate independently, and then come back together as a group and discuss what you guys have. Or what I would suggest is have one person read. The rest of you kind of read along with them. Tell them when to stop when you find something interesting that helps you answer the question or vocabulary word, and then kind of go that route. All right, but you guys go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be floating around, looking at your papers. If I see anything that needs to be, edited, I'll let you know. If I have any questions, I'll ask. Okay, but you guys have 10 minutes for the next part of this lesson. Go ahead and start.